Today we're playing my signature Burning Wish plus Beseech the Mirror combo deck in Legacy known as the Epic Storm. Let's go check it out. This is Legacy the Epic Storm, and it's the same as my last video that you can find in the card above where I went 5-0 undefeated. I haven't played much since then due to, well, having, a full-time job and YouTube and having to record other decks, so I'm pretty excited to play it again today for you. What are we looking at here? So this is a pretty stock deck list. It hasn't changed a whole lot, but in my last video I did introduce sideboard copies of Leyline of the Void. This is primarily for things like Oops All Spells or Reanimator, both are which quite popular at the moment. And then Moonstompy is very good, so we have Pulverize in the sideboard. So I mentioned Leyline of the Void for those Oops All Spells and Reanimator matchups. Other people are also playing Leyline of the Void, so we're playing Reverent Silence to answer opposing copies of Leyline of the Void. That way we could flashback our Echo of Aeons or win with Guy's Will, that sort of thing. That's it. That's all I've got for you today, so hopefully you enjoy the gameplay. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the first round. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the play. Our opponent's Goldfish history is a lot of Stifle Knot, so this hand, we have a couple lands versus a tempo deck. My concern is no protection. That said, if I draw any protection, this hand does convert into a win, and we have 2 looks between Undercity Sewers and Bloodstained Mire for Commercial District, so I think I want to keep this. Alright, our opponent took a mulligan to 6. We'll just lead off with the Undercity Sewers and pass. Burning Wish, I think we'll keep that, because Burning Wish means that I can go grab the sideboard copy of Thoughtseize. They play Polluted Delta, and now they fetch Basic Island, and Ponder. We draw the Burning Wish that we knew was there, and now we'll go search out our Taiga, play Burning Wish. It resolves! We will grab Thoughtseize. Pass the turn. So next turn I have Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror, go get Song of Creation. I do not have enough resources for a clean Guy's Will line right now. They play Brainstorm, and pass the turn. Ooh, another land. Not a good draw. Let's play the Thoughtseize. Force of Will, dress down Doorkeeper Thrall. We'll take the Force of Will. So we are, a little bit of a spot here. And our opponent doesn't have interaction. But if I pass the turn, they are going to play Doorkeeper Thrall plus Phyrexian Dreadnought. I would have really liked to have drawn an Imprintable. That would have made this a little bit easier. And now we'll play the Beseech the Mirror. We'll grab the Song of Creation. I can play the Underground Sea, and now we'll play the Chromox, trigger the Song of Creation. With this Chromox on the stack, I'm going to Dark Ritual, so that way maybe I can imprint, depending on what I draw. Okay, so we will not be imprinting. We'll play Mox Opal, trigger the Song. Tendrils of Agony is pretty good. Play the Chromox, and I believe that's going to be the game. They fetch in response. Meticulous Archive. And now the Chromox. Imprint Brainstorm and Tendrils of Agony. Target you. Alright, we've taken game number 1 from Stifle Knot. I do like the Beseiju and Abrupt Decay in this matchup, and then I usually just skim one of each Mox. Game number 2, we've opened up a turn 1 protected Echo of Aeons. We keep those. Let's party. Leyline of the Void out of Stifle Knot. So this hand is no longer a turn 1 protected Echo of Aeons. Wasteland, okay. Another gamble. So we'll play Bloodstained Mire, play the Diamond, play another Lion's Eye Diamond, and the Mox Opal. So I could gamble for Beseiju, but I'd need to discard pretty much exactly the Song of Creation, so I think I'll pass. I wanted to play out my artifacts before Consigned to Memory came online. Ooh, they kept a hand with just Wasteland, Leyline of the Void. Brainstorm. Glad to be playing that here. Maybe I can convert these gambles into something more helpful. Yeah, we'll get rid of the gambles. Pass the turn. Brainstorm, powerful magic card. Who would have thunk? I suppose fetching now versus their end step doesn't matter, because either way I'm getting wastelanded. So I'll pick up an Undercity Sewers before they could theoretically have a Stifle, if they were to draw a blue land. Surveil, Echo of Aeons. So that's going to go to the graveyard. They wasteland my Undercity Sewers. They don't have another land. They do have 6 cards in their hand. We draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. I will play Brainstorm. It resolves. Okay, so I don't need another Lion's Eye Diamond, and I don't need the Song of Creation. So I'll play the Surveil land, or I'm sorry, play the Scalding Tarn, and on their end step, I'm probably going to grab a Surveil land. I could just do it now, but then I risk a Wasteland, but maybe that's still worth it. Yeah, I mean, there's no risk of being stifled. So we'll grab Commercial District. I would love a Thoughtseize. Like, I think Thoughtseize would be one of my best looks here, in case our opponent happens to have, like, double Force of Will. Another land that can go to the graveyard. We redrew the Song of Creation. I think I'm just going to play Veil of Summer. And if they Force of Will, I am not going to go all in. I think that would be a big mistake. I would just play a Burning Wish. Because next turn we could just hardcast the Song of Creation. Well, that resolved. So there's no Peer into the Abyss anymore. And we drew the card that I would have gotten off of Beseech the Mirror. So what can I do? I can hardcast an Echo of Aeons, or I could empty the Warrens. We'll play the Chrome Mox. So I think I can maybe create natural tendrils. We'll play the Song of Creation, or imprint it, and then we'll play Mox Opal. Keep the new one. Dark Ritual. Tap the Mox Opal for red. Tap the Song of Creation for red. I am now going to play Burning Wish, and we'll make 3 black with Lion's Eye Diamond. Say yes. Grab Beseech the Mirror. And now I'll play the Beseech the Mirror. Did I mess up? I think I'm actually 1 mana short of what I wanted to do. So maybe I have to do a gigantic Galvanic Relay now? Oh no, I can still do what I want. I can still empty. So we're going to grab Beseech the Mirror and cast it with Bargain. I'm going to hold priority here. And I'm going to sacrifice this Lion's Eye Diamond for black. So now we grab Burning Wish. Play the Burning Wish. And now I can empty the Warrens for 18. That's what I thought I was going to do. And then when I only had 2 mana floating, I started to panic a little bit. 18 Goblins. Alright, so we win match number 1. I am now 1-0 versus Stiflenot that kept a Leyline of the Void hand. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. For round number 2, we're on the draw. I have no idea what the opponent's playing today. I will keep. Their Goldfish history is full of everything from Oops All Spells to Jeskai Control, Tempo Decks, Reanimator. I really don't know what they're playing today. They've taken a mulligan to 5, so if I had to guess right now, Oops All Spells, which we have a hand that's not fast enough, even if they kept a really bad 5. But we'll see. Once Upon a Time reveals Misty Rainforest. So not Oops All Spells, maybe Cradle Control? Basic Forest into Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, this looks like Cradle Control. Okay. So their game plan is all about Collector Oof. That is how this deck would beat me in game number 1. So we have to keep that in mind with whatever we're looking to accomplish here. Brainstorm. I'll play the Scalding Tarn and pass. Misty Rainforest. It looks like they're just passing the turn. I'll fetch, and we'll grab a Surveil land. We do have Thoughtseize, so I could find a Thoughtseize. Do I want Chrome Mox? Probably not. Another land. Let's play the Brainstorm. We find Echo of Aeons and Song of Creation. So I could try to gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond and spin with no mana floating. Or I could pass the turn. I'm going to put back Song of Creation and Veil of Summer. Or maybe I should just do the land. Yeah, I'll do the land. Play another Scalding Tarn. We'll pass the turn. If they do untap and slam a Collector Oof, there's still a chance we can win. So how we would win is I would gamble for Beseech the Mirror, and then we have to win the gamble. They're going to activate the Elvish Reclaimer. They grab a Wasteland. Okay. They Wasteland my Undercity Sewers. Sure. And they're going to leave up the Elvish Reclaimer. I will fetch again. And this time we will grab Commercial District. We'll put the other Veil of Summer to the graveyard. Another gamble. Okay, so I think we should start with gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond. I don't want to discard the Diamond or the Echo. If I discard the Echo, it's not the end of the world because there's another gamble. But it would be best if I just discarded like Veil of Summer or the gamble. We'll select Lion's Eye Diamond. We discard Dark Ritual. I would have liked to keep it, but it's not the end of the world here. Select Underground Sea. We'll play the Dark Ritual. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Make 3 blue. Flashback Echo of Aeons. Storm is 5. They flash in Orcish Bowmasters. Sure. You got it. Okay, so I'll take 7. I'll go down to 9. Ooh, this is not good. That was not a good Echo. So it looks like the Bowmasters could matter here if I brainstorm into a hand that only allows me to Echo again. So I'm at 9. I'll play the Brainstorm. This will deal me 3. Is there a winning line here? So this echoes again, but I wonder if there's something else. So I've played my land, so the land can go back. And then maybe the Thoughtseize. So I could gamble for Burning Wish. That would probably be my out here, and then I'd have to win the gamble. So we'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, play Chrome Mox, and I have to imprint another gamble. So I have a 75% chance to win this game. Alright, 75% seems pretty good to me. Select Burning Wish. We got there. So I'll play the other Mox. We can Thoughtseize them for information. Take Endurance, I guess. And now we'll tap the Mox for mana. Hold Control. And Burning Wish. Gamble. Such a good card. Alright, so we've taken game number 1 from Cradle Control. Believe it or not, I don't love Veil of Summer in this matchup, just because, like, you want Thoughtseize to hit their Collector Oof, or Green Sun Zenith for Collector Oof, and then you want, well, Abrupt Decay. I meant to click on Abrupt Decay. I don't think Beseech is very good. So then we'll bring in the 4th copy of Thoughtseize. So you do get to leave in 2 Veil of Summer. They're about to bring in 4 Thoughtseize. So you might be saying, but they're bringing in discard, don't you want all the number of Veils? You can't really afford to just, like, sit there and hold up Veil of Summer while they set up Collector Oof. Like, that's just not a play pattern that rewards you. They've mulliganed. This is a turn 1 Echo of Aeons, assuming you don't get hit by Thoughtseize. So it's a pretty big if. You also get blown out by Force of Vigor. So this is good if they keep a Collector Oof hand. I mean, I'm going to keep it. I think any hand is not going to be great against a turn 1 Thoughtseize. So we'll just hope that they don't have it. 6 cards, Bayou, and Thoughtseize. So we're going to lose our Lion's Eye Diamond most likely. They take the Mox Opal. Interesting. I'll pass the turn. They play Bayou and pass. Veil of Summer. So I'm going to just discard the Tendrils. If they go land Green Sun Zenith, we lose. I could try to play Thoughtseize here. I just don't think that's a great line. They have 4 cards in hand. Scythe, Cat, Cub. Alright. So they're making creatures and whatnot. They grab a basic. Their Orc army gets even larger. Sylvan Safekeeper. They have 1 card left in hand, and we're about to take 5 down to 14. So I need to do something soon. Another Thoughtseize. You're killing me, Smalls. Okay. So I guess I'm not going to concede, because if I were to draw like Mox Opal or Chrome Mox, I could Beseech the Mirror win, and that would be lethal. But it pretty much had to be like a land doesn't do it anymore, because I'd have to Echo of Aeons into Orcish Bowmasters, and that's not going to win. But I do have a deterministic Beseech the Mirror line if it's Chromox or Opal. I guess I could Veil Echo Prey. That is an option here. Alright, Veil of Summer. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, so we're hoping for a random 7-card hand with no mana floating that wins the game. Disruptor Flute. Okay. They could have responded to the Lion's Eye Diamond. They named Tendrils of Agony. Sure. We drew it. I couldn't even cast it, but we did draw it. Okay, so now we have to piece together a win. Step 1 is Brainstorm off of this Lotus Petal. Well, Brainstorm, that is not good enough. Okay, so we lose game number 2. No changes for me. I think I just want to resubmit the same configuration. Alright, game 3 of match number 2 on the play. We have a turn 1 Echo, where we wouldn't get to use all these Dark Rituals. I think that's still a keep. Leyline of the Void. So turn 1 Echo is off the table. We'll play the Bloodstained Mire. Play Lion's Eye Diamond. And I think I just want to pass here. They play Tailing Gates. Okay. Fetch. Grab the Commercial District. So I could Burning Wish into Reverent Silence if I can draw another land. Lotus Petal. So that allows me to do something. I don't know what that something is. Maybe Empty the Warrens? It's Empty the Warrens for 8. I don't know if that's that good. I could put Song of Creation into play and pass. That's another option. I could also just go get the Reverend Silence and cast it and hope that they don't have a discard spell or another land. I think you're supposed to keep the Petal. Would it be better against a hand where they literally just want turn 1 Tailing Gates pass to empty for 8? I'm sorry, empty for 10. Just 10 win. It might. Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Oh no, it doesn't. My bad. I don't have double red. So this is Song of Creation pass. Or I can just accept that I burned a Dark Ritual and then Burning Wish into Reverent Silence. What's more likely to win? Song pass or next turn gamble Echo? I don't know the answer to this. Song pass loses to Beseech or Force of Vigor, but I think the gamble line does too. Let's play Burning Wish and see what they do. That resolved. Oh, I'm an idiot. I could have made goblins. Oh, I'm so... Oh, Bryant, I wish you would just think. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I could have just made red with Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm so, like, in my head, I was so focused on Lion's Eye Diamond being my bargainable. I could have went Empty the Warrens for 10, discard my hand. I'm so bad at this. I don't know what's wrong with me. Dark Ritual. Beseech the Mirror. Yeah, I could have just had 10 goblins. Grab the Song of Creation. Now I have to pass the turn. Okay. They play Wasteland, black mana, green mana, Ignoble Hierarch. Alright, so we want to see 0. Gamble, okay. So this triggers the song. There we go. We'll grab another Lotus Petal, play Petal, trigger the song. Did we actually pull this off despite me being terrible at Magic? We'll play the lands because I want to... One, I want to thin the deck, but I also want to set up the Surveil so that way we have a little bit better card quality. Grab Badlands. Now we'll Surveil. Get rid of Burning Wish. We don't need another one of those. Play the Mox Opal. Storm is 4. Dark Ritual is great. Storm 5, Dark Ritual. I accidentally found my way into the win despite being terrible at Magic. Ah, I love this deck. Mox Opal. I mean, 10 Goblins probably wins this, but I lucked my way into a win. We'll play Burning Wish. Storm 8. Say yes. I'm 1 Storm short currently, and I discarded the other... Well, I can just Burning Wish again. Okay, we'll grab Tendrils. And then Burning Wish. And they just conceded. Okay. But with 6 mana, I could Burning Wish for, like, Reverend Silence or something, and then win that way. I don't have to cast the Reverend Silence, I just have to play the Burning Wish. But we got the match. Whew. Alright, so I accidentally stumbled my way in. I'm going to need to play better moving forward, but we're 2-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. It's time for the third match. We're facing someone whose recent results are all oops all spells, so I'm fortunate that I won the die roll. Let's see if we can take advantage of that. And we have a turn 1 deterministic win. Keep. They've taken a mulligan to 6. Now down to 5. We'll play Verdant Catacombs, Lines at Diamond, Lines at Diamond, Chrome Mox and print the Brainstorm, sacrifice the Verdant Catacombs. We'll grab Badlands, and now I will hold priority and cast the Burning Wish. We'll add black and blue. Burning Wish, grab Beseech the Mirror, play Beseech the Mirror, bargain the Chrome Mox. We'll select a Gaia's Will, play the Gaia's Will, storm 6, and our opponent concedes. We'll bring in Leyline of the Void and take out Veil of Summer. Game number 2. We've opened up another turn 1 win. Should you keep this on the draw? They've already taken a mulligan. I think you're supposed to just dig for the Leyline of the Void. So many 4 mana black spells, but not Leyline of the Void. They've kept 6. We'll go to 5. Oh no, they also mulliganed. Okay, they've taken a mulligan to 4. We'll go to 4 as well. And we have found our Leyline of the Void. We will keep, put Gaia's Will, Beseech the Mirror, and Chrome Mox on the bottom. Leyline of the Void. They play Once Upon a Time, and they missed. Okay. We'll play Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn. They play Crypt of Agony. I'm sorry, Agadeem's Awakening, Undercity Informer, sure. You got it. Undercity Sewers, Brainstorm can go to the graveyard. Another Leyline of the Void. Pass the turn. They play Lotus Petal, and now they can attack. So knowing that my opponent would have passed the turn on turn 1, we did have a deterministic win, but I think that, actually, I'm going to play out the Echo in case our opponent draws a discard spell. I probably should have played out my artifacts last turn, but if I had kept that hand and then they just mulliganed to 6 and turn 1 killed me, I would have felt really foolish. Where here, we still have a very high probability of winning. It's just, we're playing a little bit of a longer game. Burning Wish. I guess I can go grab Beseech the Mirror. Pass the turn. Another Mox Opal. So I could get Song of Creation, or I could try the Beseech win. I don't know if Beseech win is good enough here. It might be. Opal. Sacrifice the Petal. We'll play Beseech the Mirror, bargain Mox Opal. We'll grab another copy of Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice the Chrome Mox. We'll grab Gaia's Will. And we'll play the Gaia's Will. Play Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Play the Bloodstained Mire. Play the Chrome Mox. I don't need to imprint, so I'm not going to. Tap for a black. We'll play the other Mox Opal. Fetch, I go to 12, grab a Taiga, tap the Sewers, tap the Taiga, play Beseech the Mirror from the graveyard. We'll get rid of the empty Chrome Mox. And now they're going to target me with the Undercity Informer. They did not hit Tendrils of Agony. We will grab it. Target you. Alright, the villain of the format loses. And just like that, we're 3-0. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. The fourth match, we're on the draw. I've opened up a hand that's good against any deck in the format. I will say that it's a little bit weird. I've faced this person 6 times according to my spreadsheet, and they've always been on Death and Taxes. I decided to just look at their Goldfish link to see what they've been playing recently. It's all Stifle Knot. So are they on Death and Taxes? Are they on Stifle Knot? We're about to find out. Or something completely different. But I do think the hand we have is good in every matchup, so that's nice. Bayou. So probably neither. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. No! No! Why are you like this? Come on. We're about to lose our Lion's Eye Diamond. There is a secret sauce plan here, which is you could go turn 1, Thoughtseize yourself, discard the Echo, and hope they don't have any way to stop you on turn 2. They do take the diamond. So if I had to guess, they're probably playing Cradle Control. Burning Wish. We'll play the Chrome Mox. Imprint the Tendrils of Agony. Thoughtseize myself. Discard Echo of Aeons. Pass the turn. Need to hope that they don't have Crop Rotation or the Bazooka Bog in their hand or whatever. I don't know if lists these days are even playing Crop Rotation anymore, but I know for a little bit they were. Tropical Island. So is this like Sultai Beanstalk and I just Thoughtseize myself? I was not expecting a Tropical Island there. So I could still Burning Wish into Thoughtseize to protect myself. We'll play Burning Wish. Yes. Grab Thoughtseize. My fear now is Orcish Bowmasters. And I think here it comes. Yep. Thoughtseize. We'll take the Witherbloom command. Their hand is nothing. My fear is that if I Echo, I have to pass because my hand just doesn't do anything else. So if I draw a land, I could put Song of Creation into play and pass. And that might give me a chance. If I draw... if they drip Brainstorm. Oh, wow. Okay. That hurts. That hurt a lot. So game plan, I draw land, and then I draw any spell that triggers Song of Creation, and then I immediately draw Veil of Summer. Okay, now they can play up the Beanstalk. And they do. Next turn they can play Bargain, so they're going to find Force of Will. We found the Veil of Summer, but I would have to draw like exactly Lion's Eye Diamond. I suppose I could draw Dark Ritual. Okay, so I could draw either Dark Ritual or Lion's Eye Diamond next turn. A Lotus Petal does allow me to go Veil into Echo, but it's not very good. Like, I'd have no mana floating. So we'll take 2. I'll go to 11. Another up the Beanstalk. So they did not want to play the Bargain here, so that might be their blue card for, like, a Force of Will. And now they ponder. Yeah, I mean, maybe my Thoughtseize Yourself line was a little aggressive, but it did give me a turn 2 Echo versus a potential non-blue deck. They ended up being a blue deck, so it didn't work. We'll draw Lotus Petal. Play Veil of Summer. They have Daze. I will pay for Daze. Come on, Lion's Eye Diamond. And Force of Will, exiling Brainstorm. Okay. Pass the turn. They replay their land. They have 4 cards. And now they're going to main phase a Bargain. So they get to draw 2 and then look at the top 4 and put 2 of them to their hand. They put 2 lands to the graveyard. They have 7 cards. So the odds they don't have another Force of Will by now are pretty low. But I'm at a point where I'm probably dead if I don't do anything. Dark Ritual. Play the Lotus Petal. Attempt to flashback Echo of Aeons. They're resolved. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go to 2, which means I can't use this Thoughtseize. So there is a way for me to win this, but it requires that my opponent drew absolutely nothing in their 7 cards. I have 2 mana in play, I have 3 in hand, so I can gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond, and then we have to keep the Diamond and the Burning Wish, and then I have lethal. Oh, I have a mana floating, so I don't even need to gamble. I would have to avoid Daze. There's no Tendrils of Agony in my main deck, so I can't just Beseech the Mirror. That doesn't work here. Play Lotus Petal. Play Mox Opal. And I think I'm going to hold the land. Wait, Burning Wish Tendrils isn't lethal. Did I just mess up? Yeah, I might have just messed up because now I have to gamble and win with lower probability. I should have checked the storm count. So Burning Wish Tendrils is 14 and they're at 16. Whoops. We'll play Gamble. I am not playing well today. We'll grab Lion's Eye Diamond. And I discarded the Burning Wish. Perfect. So I can Beseech the Mirror. Play Diamond. Based on their pauses, I think they have something. Come on, Force of Will this. We'll play Burning Catacombs. Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, discarding or sacrificing the Mox Opal. So I guess we have a win either way with the Gaia's Will here. No matter what, we lost to Force. There wasn't a way around that. I'll pay for days. We'll pick Gaia's Will. So I guess the only way that I lose this would have been if they didn't have Force of Will is if they have Endurance here. If you have main deck Endurance and have it. So now I'll play the Diamond, crack the Diamond for red, and now we can play the Burning Wish, grab the Tendrils of Agony. We got the game win, but once again, I am capable of playing better. That is my whole point here. And I'm just not today. No excuses, I'm just not playing well. Okay, so I like Beseech and I like Abrupt Decay. Some of these lists have Collector Oof in the sideboard, and having extra lands versus the Wasteland deck isn't the worst. Plus, like, having a real land instead of a Mox can be kind of nice. So we're no longer the Galvanic Relay deck, so just having permanent mana can help. Game number 2, we're on the draw. I've opened up a hand that doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, yeah, Tendrils of Agony is a card, but it's all mana. There's no payoff. There's no protection. I'd rather just mulligan. Better, I suppose. We'll keep and get rid of Dark Ritual. So it's funny. If this Abrupt Decay was a Mox Opal, this is a theoretical quick win. But if it's Chrome Mox, it's not very good. So I'm not sure if I like this being Abrupt Decay or not. But they could also play turn 2 Collector Oof. And then I'm like, oh wow, I'm so thankful to have Abrupt Decay in my hand. So we'll see. A lot of lists are playing 1 Collector Oof in the sideboard. Beseech the Mirror. We'll play the Undercity Sewers. Keep the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. They play Misty Rainforest. I think I'm going to just pass. 2 mana. For an Orcish Bowmasters. Yep. They play land number 3, 5 cards in hand. Now they attack, I'll go to 17. I really need more mana right now. There we go. I think I'm going to just tap 2 lands and play Burning Wish and see if it resolves. They float a green. My plan here would be to just grab Thoughtseize, but they daze me. I suppose I should have played out the Lotus Petal. That's my own fault. Pass the turn. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about Daze. In my head, I'm like, control deck, but they're a control deck that does play Daze. So that's my own fault. And now they can play Bargain here. And that's exactly what's happening. Yep. Well, whatever they found was so good that they got rid of a Brainstorm. They play land 3 again. Thoughtseize. That's not very nice. They take my Beseech the Mirror. And up the Beanstalk. They have 4 cards. We'll take 2. I go to 14. Echo. They have 5 in hand. I mean, I could just try to spin right now. We'll play Dark Ritual. Play the Petal. Abrupt Decay on the Orcish Bowmasters. So I'm going to spin, but I'm only going to sacrifice 1 Lion's Eye Diamond, so that way if they do happen to have a Force of Will, I could theoretically rip a Gamble or another Echo next turn, and then try again. Storm 6, 3 available mana, and they do have a Force of Will. You got it. They drew another card off of up the Beanstalk, and we'll pass. We'll take 1, ouch. Wasteland. They destroy the Undercity Sewers. Dark Ritual. Not good enough here. We'll pass. Another Bargain. Okay, I'm good to just pick it up at this point. We're not going to recover. We can go to the next one. I think I'm going to keep my deck list the same. I know that the Abrupt Decay was a little awkward that game, but I think in general, you really want the out to No Rod or Collector Oof or whatever they might have. Okay, so this is a turn 1 Protected Echo. We'll keep. Play Thoughtseize. Wow, they have double Force. Okay, we'll take Force of Negation. And then I'm going to try to play Lion's Eye Diamond here to see if they'll force it. Because if I wait, next turn they can play Consign to Memory and then counter the Diamond. And I don't want that to happen. So they had an insane hand here. Wow. They play Misty Rainforest. We drew a Scalding Tarn. I would like to Brainstorm to see if I can make this Echo even better. Brainstorm. Put Brainstorm Burning Wish on top. And let's Thoughtseize. They found another Bargain. So their hand is double Bargain, double Consign to Memory. So if I wait, I could Echo next turn with mana floating. Or I could just Echo now. and I'd be giving them a 1-turn window to draw something. I think I'm just going to spin. I want to make sure that I'm able to refuel here. And I will pass. They fetch with Misty Rainforest. They grab a Hedge Maze. So my fear was that they could fetch and surveil. So they got 2 looks at something to stop me on their turn. And then if I did have to wait a turn, they have 2 bargains to just dig super deep and come back. Interesting that they got rid of Up the Beanstalk. They have Thoughtseize. Probably take Brainstorm here if I had to guess. Not really sure. They do in fact take the Brainstorm. And now they ponder. They shuffled on the ponder. Beseech the Mirror. Terrible draw. We'll play Scalding Tarn. Let's gamble. Grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. Song of Creation to the graveyard. We'll play the diamond. And I think I might get a little risky here. I might gamble for Thoughtseize and then try to spin again because my hand is so bad. The fear is that they could have days. We'll gamble. Grab Thoughtseize. Play it. Please no days. Please no days. Please no days. They're thinking pretty hard here. I don't think that it's days because you would have snapped off a days by now. Tick tock. Let's go. Force of Will and Endurance. So we'll take the Force of Will. And now we can just spin. Firm 5. We have no more untapped lands left to fetch. So any land moving forward, this was a good 5. Any land moving forward, we will need to fetch a Surveil. This hand is good. I like this. They have 8 cards. They drew Thoughtseize. I thought about playing out the Veil of Summer, or playing out Petal, so good Veil of Summer, but I don't know if that even makes sense, because then I'm playing into Days and all these other things, so I really did consider what my options were, and I chose to not play Lotus Petal, because I think we want it for Storm Count. I don't know if I'd Veil of Summer anyway, knowing that, okay, I guess I'm getting Magic Online rewards, knowing that I'd be playing into Days and not protecting my combo turn anyway, so I think it's fine. And my opponent takes the Veil of Summer, okay. And now they play a main phase Brainstorm. Polluted Delta. They have 6 cards left in their hand. They're at 14. We draw another Lotus Petal. Let's play Brainstorm. We drew Protection. So if I were to put back Gamble Dark Ritual, I don't have a double protected win. I only have a single protected win. So I could wait a turn and then try to come back next turn with double backup. I'm just trying to think. So Badlands for Dark Ritual, Taiga for Burning. No, I do have double. I mean I can Burning Wish twice. The question is, do I have enough mana after that? So Dark Ritual, double Petal. That's 7 minus. So the second Burning Wish would only have 3 floating. That's the problem. But if the first one resolves, I could grab Thoughtseize. No, that still doesn't do it. That doesn't work. Alright, so we'll put 2 back. Pass the turn. They did not fetch with their Polluted Delta. I think that's pretty interesting. They wanted the card they Brainstorm back. Well, the way that I stacked my Brainstorm was if my opponent played a Wasteland this turn, I'd still have enough black mana next turn to do something. So this turn we were short. So if we went Veil of Summer, double Burning Wish, on the second Burning Wish I'd only have 3 black. So I put the Dark Ritual on top, so that way next turn we could beat 2 Dazes, or if they Wastelanded me, we wouldn't be cut off mana. They fetched a 13, and now they play Ponder. They did not shuffle on Ponder. They play a land, and now they're passing. So they could have Hardcast Force of Negation. They could also have a bargain they play here. Let's start with Lotus Petal. Play Dark Ritual, and another Dark Ritual. We'll play out the Lotus. I don't know if they knew if I had 1 or 2. I don't remember. They saw my hand, but I can't remember if I had both petals or not. I think they might have known because the cards I drew off Brainstorm, I think, were Veil of Summer, Dark Ritual, Gamble, and Gamble's still on the top of my deck. They Hydroblast. I will attempt a Veil of Summer. They have 5 cards. The Veil of Summer resolves. Burning Wish. I'm going to grab the Cyborg Thoughtseize. We'll play it. They didn't play out a Null Rod. Interesting. So they have Endurance and nothing else. So they're just dead. Dark Ritual. Burning Wish. Grab the Tendrils of Agony and cast it. We even beat a Consign to Memory there too because we checked with Thoughtseize, so that was pretty cool. So there's been a few times this league where I haven't played perfectly, and yet we're 4-0. That's kind of exciting. Let's see if I can get match number 5. Want early access to articles at theepicstorm.com? Become a member of our Patreon to get articles 7 days early, on top of other sweet benefits, and help us pay our website team. You can sign up at patreon.com/theepicstorm. For the trophy, match number 5, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. My opponent's Goldfish history recently has been a bunch of Nadu combo, and primarily the more fair mid-range versions that are using Nadu as a card advantage engine. There's no real, like, Thassa's Oracle win. It's kind of just Nadu plus Nomad's Encore, tons of cards, outvalue you, win the game. They play a first turn Beseech who endures into Delighted Halfling, so it does look like that deck to me. We draw Chrome Mox, I'll play the Scalding Tarn and pass. Windswept Heath is their play. They fetch for Tundra. Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. So Beseech the Mirror is effectively shut off, but my hand doesn't have it right now anyway. They minus the Teferi to draw. Under City Sewers, Surveil. I don't think I need another gamble. Another Mox Opal. Let's play the Verdant Catacombs to avoid days if they were to have one. And that's all mana. Wow. Alright, so I think we'll put back 2 artifacts and pass the turn. They plus the Teferi Time Raveler and Brainstorm. They fetch another Tundra and a second Brainstorm. Okay. We'll grab Commercial District. Diamond was a perfect find. Let's go. We'll begin by playing the Lines at Diamond. Dark Ritual. Let's play the Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Let's try a Burning Wish. Storm is 5. That resolved. Wow. Okay. I'll grab Thoughtseize. We'll play it. They just have nothing. Okay, we'll take Endurance. Play the Chrome Mox. I think I'm going to imprint Gamble here, just so that way I can have some more mana. And then we'll Flashback Echo. Storm is 8. So keep in mind, I can play the Beseech the Mirror, but I can't use the bargain mode. Play Dark Ritual. We'll cast Beseech the Mirror, Storm 10. And they concede. We're 1 game away from a trophy. You know, my last TES league was a 5-0. This could be one as well. I think we want the Abrupt Decay. A lot of these decks do play like a Collector Roof in the sideboard. We'll take out 1 Mox Opal. Game number 2, our opponent's mulliganed. We will keep. Completely unrelated to the gameplay. If you've seen me shivering throughout this video, it was supposed to be warm today, but it is frigid here in upstate New York. And I am currently dressed in shorts because I was like, it's going to be warm today. It's going to be warm today. And then it never happened. So, sorry if you just see me shivering. They're like, man, Bryant must be nervous playing the Epic Storm. No, it's not that. It's just I'm very cold. They force a will my Thoughtseize, so that could mean turn 2 Green Sun Zenith into Collector Oof. Outland Liberator, sure. We draw Beseech the Mirror. I'll play Scalding Tarn and then Brainstorm. Once again, trying to avoid days a little bit. So I don't want the Song of Creation. I also don't think I need a Burning Wish. Pass the turn. Now they play a Brainstorm. Windswept Heath. They have 2 cards. Ouch. We go to 17. Fetch. And I think we want the Commercial District here. Dark Ritual's a good one. Let's play the Brainstorm. Oh my. We'll get rid of 1 Lotus Petal and the second Gamble. And I think what I'd like to do is gamble for Thoughtseize and try to just set up a deterministic Beseech win. Of course, I hit the Dark Ritual. It was like the one thing I didn't want to discard. Oh, that's brutal. Yep. Sometimes on my Storm videos, people are like, Bryant never loses gambles. 1, I lose gambles all the time. Like, there's a video, I actually went 5-0 in that video with the Stock Up Storm deck, where I lost almost every gamble in that video. They surveilled away a Force of Will. Now they have 3 mana. Is this a Nadu? Or Green Sun Zenith for Collector Roof? Yep. So they were protecting the Green Sun Zenith. And now my hand just does absolutely nothing, especially after I discarded the Dark Ritual. So if we want to win this, I have to draw another Dark Ritual, and then we can beat the Collector Roof naturally. We draw another useless artifact. I will play the Thoughtseize. Force of Vigor, Brainstorm. I don't care about Force of Vigor, so we'll take the Brainstorm. Pass the turn. We're just in a Dark Ritual waiting room. Like, one Dark Ritual, and we win this. Is this Teferi? Because that would shut off my Beseech, and then we can't win. Nadu. I will cycle Veil of Summer. Another Lion's Identity, or another artifact. Gamble discarding the Dark Ritual cost is real bad. Alright, so I'm at 8. They have 8 damage on board. Yeah, they have 8 on board. Brainstorm, so I'd have to be black mana plus... No, that doesn't do it. Because I can't... A Dark Ritual won't even win here. So I don't know. It'd have to be like fetch land plus double Dark Ritual. I don't think there's a win. We'll play Brainstorm. And that certainly doesn't do it. Okay, so I lost game number 2. Resubmit for the third and final game of this Legacy League. On the play. Nope, can't keep that. This hand is not very good either. We're going to go to 5. This is not how I wanted my league to end. We're going to 4. They kept 6. So this is a turn 1 Echo that loses to a Force of Will. I don't really have much of a choice here. I mean, if they have Force of Will, they have Force of Will. It's kind of just how it be. We'll play the Diamond and gamble. Echo of Aeons. Spin the wheel. Storm 4. It resolves. Let's go. We will pass. So now I'm back in this game, and we got to start the game with 2 permanents in play. No lands? Really? They discard a Rumble. We'll just play Burning Wish. They Force of Will, exiling Ponder. We'll pass. They don't have a land again. Let's play Thoughtseize. They Force of Will, I will Veil of Summer. We drew Commercial District. Prismatic Ending, double green Sun Zenith, Delighted Halfling. I think it's just Delighted Halfling. Keep them off of playing Collector Roof. Pass the turn. They don't have a land again. Dark Ritual. So that I'm actually very close here to use your words, Bryant. Just Beseech the Mirror Song win. We'll play Burning Wish. Grab Beseech the Mirror. Commercial District. Keep the Petal. Pass. They drew and passed. So they have 2 unknown cards here. We'll play Beseech the Mirror. And they just conceded. We got the trophy. Back-to-back 5-0s for the Epic Storm. Let's go. Let's go. It's so funny because, and this is a little bit of a tirade, but sometimes in the Storm Discord, people think that because I don't play the Epic Storm all the time in my free time these days, that the deck is not well positioned. That is not the case. Obviously, as you can see here, 2 videos in a row, 2 5-0s, and the deck is good. It's just I haven't loved Legacy in a little bit. And when I'm not loving Legacy, I don't play it in my free time. I'd rather play Cycle Storm or spend time with my family, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the Epic Storm is still obviously pretty good, right? And I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Oh, I should mention, we're roughly 220 subscribers away from 20,000 people. 40,000 to 50,000 of you watch my videos monthly, but less than half of you are subscribed. Please, 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 please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's no better way to support our channel. If you're interested in elevating your combo game, visit theepicstorm.com/tutoring for details about our coaching sessions. Don't worry, there's more great combo content coming right up.